Anita, hello. Where are
Hello.
you? In Austria?
Hello, Diane. Yes, I'm in Austria, actually in Graz, where we have our headquarters. So I just came in from the lab and now I'm in my office. Yeah.
And is everything locked down in Austria?
Yes, actually, let's say not everything is locked down, but a lot of things. Yeah, so children are not allowed to go to school. Most of the people working here at the Institute, they are not here, they are in their home offices, but of course, the lab and all those things, they are going on. So
okay.
Everything.
So I am very happy to welcome you on this conversation. And I want to tell everybody that you and I met in January, and we met in Chile in this incredible, I mean, it seems like years ago. And we met in this incredible retreat, which is called Los Lobos, and it is a Shama retreat, that's how they call it, and where we fasted, and we had all kinds of treatment, and we hiked, and we had, I mean, I've never had so many things done to me, and massages and acupuncture, and it was an incredible week. And I really do think that coming out of there, my immune system got really built up, and that may be why I'm, well during these times. So at that time, unfortunately, I don't know much about biology, and I should, and I wish that children would study biology a little bit more, because I think it's so important to know about your body. And so from you, I heard, for example, the importance of gut. I also learned that if you unrolled your gut, it would be as big as a football field. Which is incredible. You want to have a flat stomach, and that's incredible. And I heard about probiotics, which I knew nothing about. So introduce yourself and tell your story, and tell what a regular person who is right now in their home, who is right now really concerned about health, and how this is important for us to know right now.
Yeah, I would say 40 years ago, it was the same what you say. I had not the least idea about the gut. And it was quite a bad personal experience that made me aware of the gut. It was simply, I would say I saw a small deficiency first in my husband's gut, and he had a diarrhea, and he wouldn't get rid of that. And we consulted doctors. He was a medical doctor himself. So, and incredibly, it went to severe illness, and then, to the death of my first husband. And that, although he had been with the very, very best medical doctors of all this world, and it wouldn't have.
How old was your husband when he died?
40.
40?
Yes.
Wow, so he was very young.
He was very young, and he had this disease for 20 years. So when I met him, he was 25. He already had it for 5 years, and it was a colitis. So a lot of people know that, because it's not only a few that have that. So you can get it, for example, when many people get it back from traveling a lot and having a traveler's diarrhea. That was with my husband. Others get it as an autoimmune disease, and others again get it via a lot of stress, perhaps also taking a lot of medication, some even a lot of inflammation is coming in the gut because these people eat the wrong things. So it's a crazy thing how many ways can lead to this kind of disease.
Because if we believe, and we do believe, that we are what we eat, clearly I think that what happens after what we eat and the evacuation of what we eat is really, really important. I know it's more important in Europe. Like, I mean, in America, people don't really talk so much about it. So you're speaking now mostly to Americans. But I know that in my family, people always asked, did you have your movement? Did you know? It's a part of, and so tell us why it's so important and what we can do about it.
What I think most people do not have the least idea that the gut is such an incredibly big organ, 400 square meters, but even more, most people do not just think about it, okay, digesting food and going away. So this is just going through the whole body and nobody thinks about it. But this is not true, The gut has many, many more functions. And what is even more important, it's not the gut and its function itself, but in the gut, there are billions of rumors, you can say, So tiny little bacteria, hundreds of billions of them. And they look for it that you have not only a good digestion, but that all the substances that are in your food will really come out of your food, will get into your bloodstream, will get into your cells. And even more important, just think, every apple, every grape you eat, there are toxins up there, But so these bacteria, because they really choose to live in your gut, this is their home, and they want to protect their home. So these tiny little bacteria try to get rid of all those bad toxins that come in with your food, and they really try to keep you as healthy as possible. Why? Because the moment you die, they are dead as well, So it's important for them to keep you healthy. But I think what is even more important, there are, of course, in this world, not only nice people. Same is with the bugs in your body. There are not only good ones. There are a lot of really bad bugs. If they are there, tiny amounts of them, a few thousands, perhaps even a million, don't worry about it. This is no problem because the good ones are courageous, They fight against the bad ones. And if there is a billion against a million, it's not the big problem. But what comes is that we do not do always the right things. So, for example, lots of sugar. Lots of sugar are not good for, it's not good for you, and it's not good for the bacteria, Sugar will lead to a fermentation to alcohol. So it's a kind of, you have kind of alcohol processing in your gut, which of course not good. Then go to antibiotics, Go to proton pump inhibitors, a lot of medication that many, many people get, but these are really bad for your bacteria. Bacteria will not survive. Antibiotics, for example.
So in other words, because we haven't, I mean, people who don't know anything, and I am one of them, and we all have bacteria inside our body, and those are good because we think of bacteria being bad.
No, this is the funny thing. Diane, you're absolutely right. You are right. Most people think bacteria is bad. This is not true. You have such, actually, only very few. We know about thousands of different bacterial species that could really live in your gut, and you would feel fabulous if they do so. But it is sometimes enough to have one really bad one, and that is if there are not enough good bacteria to fight the bad ones. If you have that, then you get the problem, And this is, you need these powerful little creatures, you need them in your gut, You need them also in your mouth. and this will prevent the bad bugs coming in. And you know what? Not only bad bacteria coming in, but also viruses. Yeah, this is, for most people, it's not clear how you get a virus infection. Yeah, you just have to breathe in those viruses. This is why we all have masks now. Yeah, because if you breathe in such a virus, it first gets into the mucous membranes in your mouth, in your nose. Perhaps it goes down to your lung. Yeah, and if it's a really bad one, if it's a dangerous one, then it will try exactly to attack the cells. And you know what? And that was, for me, even something that made my eyes opening when I have a lot of Chinese researchers also that I know very well, because China does a lot of research actually in bacteria. But you know what? They told me, Anita, be careful. What have we found? We have found that 50% of our COVID-19 patients, they do have those viruses in the gut. They first go to the lung, but many of them then go to the gut and make it the disease much more of a disaster for the human body. Because just imagine, you know what these viruses do? They just try to penetrate into a cell because they cannot replicate outside the cell. They need to infuse kind of
in order to grow.
Exactly, into one cell. And you know what? Then they grow and they get more and more and more. And then they exactly. And there is an explosion of this cell. All the viruses come out and go to the next cells. So there are thousands of new viruses attacking the other cells that are close by. And this is the big problem, not only in the lungs, but also in your gut, because 80%, yeah, go ahead.
So I would like to understand what we can do with our nutrition. How can we keep our body and our gut as healthy as possible with nutrition? And I would like you to explain what is the probiotics and this little powder that you make me, that I trusted you so much when I met you, that twice a day I take this little powder, and I would love you to be able to explain what it is and what we could do about our nutrition in order to have a healthy gut and therefore a strong immune system.
Yeah. I love it, Diane, how you explain what came to you. First of all, yes, I would love everybody to have a normal, healthy nutrition. This is basic.
And what do you call a normal, healthy? What are the big enemies in a healthy nutrition?
It's quite clear. Let's say there is much more that is good. Actually, I would say all the fruits, all the vegetables, all those nice things that every doctor tells you. You can see it wherever you go to, even meat, even if you are not allergic to it. Also, dairy products are good. But we know that today these foods are not natural anymore. They come in a processed way, yeah? And what we then get is not the prebiotic fibers, yeah? But you just get the sugary parts of grains, yeah? You do not get the fibers in the vegetables, but just the flavor of the vegetables very often in a soup or whatever, yeah? So this is the dangerous thing, because there is malnutrition, not only of yourself, there is also malnutrition of the bacteria in your gut. what people must understand is that sugar will keep you alive, yeah, because it gives you a little bit of energy, but it will ruin a lot of your cells, especially the cells in your gut. The sugar will indeed not protect you what fibers do, because, for example, those bacteria in your gut, they need the fibers. Fibers are what they want as nutrients. And this is the important thing that people must understand. But there is a second thing. I will tell you, when I think of all those people that I'm talking to, they always tell me the same thing. They say, Anita, what can I do? For example, my children don't want to eat these other things. They want to eat what tastes nice, yeah? So I understand it. And actually, you know what? Exactly that was the reason when I started to develop probiotics. Because also my son, when he was small, and especially, yeah, when he was about 15, his wishes were to drink those sugary drinks. He wanted to eat what was tasting nice.
All right, so what's the solution?
The solution, first of all, of course, yeah, please use your brains and try to
limit the processed food and eat fresh vegetable and fresh fruit and all of that.
What is the real incredible thing? And there is years of research before you get one of our omnibiotics to buy. Yeah, the probiotics need a lot of investigations because there are thousands of them. And not all of them are good for you. And even if they are okay, this does not mean that you have the very, very best of them. For example, what do probiotics do? They strengthen the gut barrier. So they strengthen these mucous membranes that indeed only they can control what is taken up and will go into your bloodstream, will feed your cells. What kind of vitamins do you get?
But what is the natural probiotic?
Oh, that is actually...
What is it? Where do you find natural probiotic in our food?
Yes, only there is a big difference. Natural probiotics you find in kimchi, you find in yogurt, you find in all those foods that taste a little bit soury, yeah?
Fermented food.
Fermented food, exactly, that's it, Diane.
Like sauerkraut, for example.
Sauerkraut, perfect German thing. But you know what?
Or cabbage.
Cabbage, exactly. But what is so interesting is a lot of these probiotics will not stay in your gut because
you digest.
Yeah, you digest them. If you take yogurt, for example, yeah, this comes from the milk of a cow or of sheep or of goats, yeah, but there are the probiotic bacteria of the cow. Diane, neither you nor me, we do not have the stomach of a cow, yeah, and also not the gut of a cow. So what is important is, as long as you eat these healthy foods, it is enough. If you get problems, let me say, if you have a lot of stress, if you have, for example, some diseases or more infections, one after the other, this brings indeed death to your human bacteria. So every person has its own human bacteria. And my research goes exactly there. I want to do it with my research that people get human bacteria, not the bacteria of a sheep or of a cow or of cabbage alone. We want to have human bacteria, and they really build up the whole system. They make your immune system survive. And this is the important thing. These human bacteria, they support your human immune system. 80% of all the immune cells are located in your gut. Just imagine, 80%. So if you do not have the right bacteria to support this immune system, it will not work.
So it actually enhances the immune system. Because I mean, I'm not sick that I know of, right? I'm stressed, but yeah, everybody's stressed.
Immune system is one thing. One as important as that is, for example, your mental health. So that you have this feeling that even if you have had a very stressful day, and even if it prolongs into the evening, you have bad thoughts or whatever, you want to go to bed, you want to sleep really in a wonderful way. You want to dream nice dreams. This is only be done when you're mentally really healthy. What happens very often is when you are stressed, yeah, this provokes a reaction that is called inflammation. And this inflammation starts in your gut, but it can go via our nerves into our brain. And then you have also inflammation in your brain. And this will bring depression. This will bring a lack of concentration. This might also bring that you cannot sleep well, and that you always have the feeling, no, my life is not a good one. And this is the worst thing that anyone can have. This is why I told you, take omnibiotic stress release, really to give the right bacteria that will improve and get down inflammation. And if inflammation goes away, your brain will again have good thoughts.
So probiotic is really helps inflammation. It fights inflammation.
Fights inflammation, exactly.
That is really its first main purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Just imagine something. Today we know that cancer, first step to cancer is always inflammation, yeah, but also to other most really severe diseases. For example, dementia in perhaps elderly people, you have first a high degree of inflammation. If you look also, and for me, this is sometimes very bad to hear that even children do feel depressed, yeah? That, for example, reactions like autism, you find a lack of lactobacilli and bifidobacteria in the gut of these children. And you think, can that be that a small girl or boy already has that? Yes, it can be. So for us, inflammation is the worst
enemy.
Yeah.
All right. So we don't have that much time left. So tell me about what you created. I know you're writing a book, yes? You've written many books, but they're mostly in German. But I think you're writing a book right now. And you also started a company in America. And so you should talk about that so that if people are interested, they can go on their website and they can find out how they can fight inflammation.
Yeah. So for me, what is so interesting, you see, after my husband's death, I really said I will dedicate my life to research and to find out how can I help not only my own family, but many other people. So it was so important for me. And this is why when I worked in my pharmacy, I tried to find out more about microbiology. And I started to go into research. And what is so important now, I started to write books. And this was, incredible. People read my books and they said, yes, you are right. I can now find out what is wrong. Yeah. So, and this is now that I want to give these books not only to people who speak German, but also to English speaking people. So I'm just translating this and with help of good friends. Yeah. And we will bring this book, what to do to have a really healthy gut, yeah, also to the US. And for me, it's so important to have a company in the US, yeah. You see, it's nice to see me on a video, but I think it is important to bring all that knowledge from those last 30 years to the US.
So where do people go? Will you afterwards show a slide so that people can go on the website and like that? I've never done a conversation like that about health, but when I met you, I was really, I don't know why, I believed you. I liked what you said, and I said, prescribe me something. And I will say that I feel very good, and I think this is really, really good, and it's good maintenance. You know, it's good maintenance. I mean, I don't have any ailment that I know of, but I have a feeling that it's a good maintenance for my gut and for my body. And basically, at this point of my life, I want to make my life longer and healthier. So, Anita, I thank you very much.
First of all, thank you, because really you are so dedicated, and I'm happy about that. But you see, Diane, it's the same for me as for you. We want to have a healthy aging. We want to stay healthy. My mother, she's now 97, yeah, and she's a healthy woman, and she's taking antibiotic now for 30 years. Just imagine what a great example to say so. And people just, for the US, it's just easy. It's called omnibiotic.life.com, omnibioticlife.com, yeah.
Omnibiotic.
Biotic.
Life.
Yeah,
this is the product. Yeah. This is the product that I take, and I take 2 of those every day, 1 in the morning and 1 at night. So I should just stick to that, right?
Please stick to that. If you have any problems, like for example, who knows, whatever happens, you have to take antibiotics. You have to go to the hospital. Never go to the hospital without taking omnibiotic AB10. AB10. This is crucial. If you get strong medication, you must take AB10. Very, very important. Yeah. If you would, for example, do something totally different, like when you say, okay, I got problems because my food was totally wrong for half a year. Yeah. My liver is suffering. Then you must take something else. You would take omnibiotic detox. Why that? Just imagine, nobody would take the same drug that he takes for a headache when he has a stomach.
Of course.
That's different. Same with the probiotic. Never take the same ones if you have different problems.
Okay, so now since we are in the middle of the coronavirus, what would somebody who had even a mild coronavirus, what of the probiotic would you recommend for them to have afterwards?
For me, it's absolutely clear because I take it myself every morning. Yeah. For me, this is omnibiotic balance, because
balance.
Balance.
And but why am I taking probiotic stress?
Yeah, because actually, for me, this was the most important for someone like you, who is dedicated to her work, who has a lot of stress, who has a lot of things.
But why can't I? Why shouldn't I take balance?
Oh yes. For example, you could do the same that I do. I take omnibiotic balance in the morning.
Okay.
Omnibiotic stress release in the evening.
Okay.
This is the best thing you can do.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
Protect your immune system first in the morning, and then stop inflammation that you have built up via your stress.
Thank you very much. And I see you very soon.
For me.
Bye. And now I will take Omnibiotic Balance in the morning, and I will continue my stress at night. Thank you.
That's
Bye.
Great.